Hello, everybody. Today we're going to learn how to write horror. Okay. So, in the members stream this morning, again, be a member by joining down below. Hit the fucking crew, guys. You get members only live streams Monday through Friday, and we talk about shit. And today we talked about a ton of stuff and have quite a few video ideas, video topics like this one here that came from Zap, dude. Zap was asking, how do you make sure... I'm going to say this, this isn't verbatim, but it was like, I'm writing kind of like horror poetry or spooky, scary poetry, but I don't want it to sound corny. Now, I took that question and went a completely different direction. I hope I answered your question when you asked it in the stream. And we talked about this for a little bit. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to say right now is just stuff I said in that stream. But maybe as I talk, other things will come to me. But the thing about horror is that the only way that you can convey the actual horror of something as opposed to the terror of something. Let's talk about that. So, like, terror is when, like, you think something's going to happen that will be bad. Okay? So there's a lot of anticipation there. The anticipation is what makes things scary. Okay, so terror first. Terror is what you need to focus on as a writer. Okay? Because that is what you can convey to get somebody to also feel like there is impending doom. Okay? If you just show someone doom, that's not scary. That's just like, oh, that sucks. Okay? You have to make somebody give a shit. Okay? You have to make somebody care. The best way to make somebody care is to make sure that the person reading your book or reading your story or reading your poem likes the protagonist. If they care about the protagonist, if they feel like they can relate to the protagonist, if even if the protagonist is you writing a poem, you know, they have to be able to like you and want to see the best for you. Okay? And then the situation should be highly relatable if you want to cast the widest net on how to write something scary. Okay? So, they have to be likable, it has to be relatable, and you're having to build up. Okay? It's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. You never want to give it away. Okay? Because this is terror. Terror is anticipation. Horror is when you've realized there's no turning back. Horror is when you realized you are fucked. Horror is when you already see the bomb has gone off. And what you see around the rubble, that is the horror of the whole thing. The terror was the air raid sirens. The terror was weeks and weeks of mounting conflict in the news. Terror was seeing the planes and hearing the planes zoom by right over the skyline of the city. Terror was not knowing where your kid was when you hear the air raid siren. Terror is not knowing if you have a way out of the city that you know is about to get bombed. That's terror, okay? That pain in your gut like you're gonna fucking throw up. The horror is after the fact, okay? It's already done. Here are the horrors that surround us. Okay? That's the first thing. Because I think what most like modern writers do, they go straight for the horror. They're like, oh, this is so gross and disgusting. Like, oh, this is so scary. It's not scary. It's gross and disgusting. You said it right the first time, you fuck. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. The second thing is that you have to write things that you actually find terrifying. Like the things that make you scared, the things that freak you out. You have to write those things. You shouldn't be writing about things that you've heard scare other people. It will not sound genuine. You will not be able to convey the fear. Okay? Like, you need to have something in you to be able to be that the crazy old man who comes up and says, you're all doomed. You're all doomed. He says it because he believes it. And it's scary that he's saying that to people because of how fucking much passion he has behind his words. It's scary because it's true. And if he thinks it's true, now you have to wonder, oh my God, is it true? That is terror. That is anticipation. Because there's only one way to find out if something's true. Let it play its course. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't just go straight for the blood and guts. Nobody fucking cares. You can't go straight for, there's a ghost here. Nobody cares. You need to build up. There needs to be a character in your thing if you're writing a story or a screenplay. There needs to be a character with a healthy level of skepticism. Because at least half the people who are reading your book or watching your TV show will not believe that this could happen. So they need somebody to latch onto to play out their part in this story. Where they think you're full of shit. Okay? And then let that person, the skeptic, slowly see how real shit is. If you do this right, the skeptics watching this or reading this will also feel like shit is getting real at the same rate as the skeptic in your story or book or show or film. Okay? But please, do not premature ejac. Okay? It's a slow burn, guys. Anticipation. It's not, I already finished. Okay? Everything is about the buildup. You can't just blip and dip. Okay? And then go, how come no one's scared of my story? Because it's not fucking scary. It's stupid. You didn't do the whole first part. It's foreplay. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, but being able, this is when you know you're good. And this is what we talked about most on the stream. Was you know you're good when you could tell a story about something super fucking mundane. And how that mundane thing is really fucking scary to you. And if you can do that, you are a legend. David Lynch did that. He made an elderly couple in Mulholland Drive fucking terrifying. Okay? He made Laura Palmer, the prom queen, the homecoming queen, made her fucking terrifying. Okay? Stephen King has done this numerous times, which is why people care. He made a clown scary before clowns were scary. Clowns have always been scary, but you know what I'm saying. And like, do what he does. Like, if you need to figure out what to write about and you don't know what's scary, this is like a Stephen King thing. Like, you're driving down the street, you look out the window, you see something, and say, wouldn't it be weird if, like, there's a little old lady crossing the street with a shopping bag. Wouldn't it be weird if, like, all of a sudden I noticed that there was a third leg walking out of the bottom of that skirt? That'd be weird. Wouldn't it be weird If the ground just opened up and fucking ate her and then spit her walker out, and now I have to drive over that ground, is it going to open up and eat me? Spit my car out? Or am I okay because I'm in a car? Or is it just like he likes old lady smell? And now I just gendered the ground eating things. You guys know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be weird? Come up with these things. And you probably have some too. In my stream, I talked about a nightmare, a reoccurring nightmare I had as a kid that had to do with a light bulb. Scared the shit out of me for years. And how I felt like I had to tell that story over and over to make people think it was scary. You guys see what I'm saying? So those are the things. So you have to be able to make something mundane scary. So that's just good storytelling. You got to figure that out. What else? You have to be afraid of the thing. Because if you're not, why the fuck is anyone else going to be? Don't blow your load too early. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You have to build this up. You have to have likable fucking characters, and you have to have relatable circumstances, so the people watching this or reading this could feel like they're a part of it. And there should be somebody in there who is a healthy skeptic for the skeptical fuckers who don't want to believe fucking anything but still read horror and go to horror movies for fun. Idiots. They're full of shit. Oh, I guess the difference between terror and horror. Sure, that's what we'll go with. Oh, and then finally, there is one more thing. God damn it. The other thing is, we all have known things and read things and watched things that we find scary. Okay? And so a lot of times when we see things like outside, I'm like, ooh, that would be cool. How would I tell that story? How would I tell that woman meeting this guy and make that scary? How would I do that? We will start doing it almost in the voice of our favorite horror writer, because that's how we have ingested horror. That is how we have made horror a thing. Okay? But the problem is going to be that if we're not connected to that, even as we write it and we say those lines in our head, it's going to come off as shitty fan fiction. Okay? And it's not because we don't know how to write. It's because we equate good horror writing in the voice of this other horror writer, because that's the thing that scared us. So we start making sure that what we write sounds like that. But because we're not idiots, we go, ugh, this sounds a bit corny. This sounds a bit weak. This is like the whole reason why I'm doing the video in the first place. Like, just now I'm getting to the fucking point. Idiot. Anyway. So what you have to do at that point to start finding your voice as a horror writer is to quit writing in third person. Quit writing about external shit. Even if you're just doing this for an exercise, start writing first person shit, internal shit. Okay? So write about the things that scare you. Write about your feelings. Write about the reactions your body is having to just the thought, how your stomach is turning, how you're feeling like you're about to throw up, how your heart is racing so fast you could feel it kind of climbing up your throat because of these things. Okay? You have to figure out what scares you, what makes your heart race. And then when you do get scared, when you're building up that anticipation, what does your body physically do? Okay? You have to understand your process for fear, because not everybody is exactly the same. Okay? And once you start figuring this out and figuring out the words you like to use for things and figuring out just how you get through from foot to head something, like what scares you, what pushes you over the edge, and how to say that. Once you say that in your own voice, in your words, then you could start looking external, and you could start looking at character A and character B and character C and start talking about how they would do it and what they would do different. Like how each one of them are individual people. Okay? But if you're not scared of anything, you're going to be a shitty horror writer. All good horror writers are fucking terrified of something. Just ask Clive Barker. Okay? And I think we know what that is. All right. So anyway. So if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you liked this video, click like, hit them thumbs, crack, crack, crack. Share this fucking thing. Subscribe. Do us all a solid. I do this shit all the time. If you like this, if you like the Moneymaker, and you want to see me looking amazing, telling you all sorts of dumb shit, hit the fucking button down below. You know, confidence is fun. I'll spread it around like cream cheese on a fucking bagel. Keep buying my books. Here's a couple you can pick up. Here's a couple more you can pick up. Hit me up if you want. Go to mattwallart.com to look at my art, and my books will also be up there soon, or go to Amazon. Join the crew down below. Type hard, everybody. And I will talk to you all later.